It's not easy to admit that you are in a toxic relationship, as we don't expect people to treat us poorly, so we easily overlook someone's bad behaviour. So let's talk about the signs of a toxic person so you can decide if the person you are dating or about to date is actually worthwhile. Let's go. Number one, they are incredibly defensive. This person, you will find, can throw out the jokes and the banter to impress other people to come out the top dog. However, when that table is turned and someone talks to them in a jokey, intentional way, maybe they make fun of what they said or what they did, well, you're going to find that this guy becomes incredibly defensive and super upset. You may commonly notice this if you and this guy are very comfortable with each other and you can joke about each other's quirks and appearances like most relationships do. But if you say something, he doesn't like it. He can dish it out to you, but if you say something he's not cool with, he becomes passive aggressive, maybe gives you the silent treatment and withholds any emotional connection. Sign number two, negative compliments. They don't give 100% genuine compliments. There's always an element of them still trying to one-up someone else. It could be that you tell them that you got that job or you got a pay rise, and in that same conversation, they will still try to make the situation about them. Now, a toxic person is someone that is so self-contained in their own trauma and their doubts that they don't want you to feel good about yourself. That's because if you feel good, it takes away the spotlight from their awesomeness. So you will notice them giving you negative compliments about your friends and your family to always come out on top for you to turn around and say, you are the best person that's ever existed in my life. Number three, they play the victim. A toxic person is someone that hasn't quite learned the average set of life skills. More than likely, they have dealt through a lot of trauma and they haven't yet worked through it with a therapist and accepted what's happened. They haven't processed it yet, so they are stuck in that survival mindset, trying to work out who and what is safe, which means if someone makes a joke or calls them out for something or even cancels plans with them, immediately you will find that they will take this personally and assume it's an attack towards them. These types of people are unable to emotionally regulate and they will go from 0 to 100 in a matter of seconds. So if you get the whole, oh, woe is me type of feel from this partner and they are always stuck in that victim mindset, replaying past events, then tread carefully and you have to think, is this relationship worthwhile? Number four, green-eyed jealousy. A toxic person is extremely jealous of other people around you, the events and the situations, well, pretty much anything that you do. They will respond always in a negative way. They are going to assume that they are never good enough for you, so therefore they will get jealous when you start to speak to another guy. It could even be a cashier. They will lash out, become passive aggressive. Maybe if you turn up late from coming back home, they won't be friendly towards you because where have you been, and they don't like your male friends, and they become almost controlling in certain situations to make sure that you will not run off with someone else. It's got to be said, they are exhausting to be around. This is probably the first thing you will notice. If you spend lots of time with this person and then you come back to your own space and you feel the sense of, oh, thank the Lord, it could be one of two things. One, you are super introverted and you need time to recharge, or two, they take up so much of your emotional energy as you are constantly walking on eggshells around them that you really appreciate the break from them. This means if it's the second one, you have no power or control in this relationship and you will have to overcompensate your actions a lot, and this is not healthy. The next tip is you have to prove yourself. Is your partner putting you through lots of tests? It could be they don't remind you of something to see if you remember it for yourself to prove that you are not good enough. They may say something along the lines of, well, you should have known better, or the common catchphrase, if you loved me, you would have done this, if you loved me, you wouldn't have done that, or the famous, I would have done this for you, so why didn't you do the same? If you feel that you are having to constantly prove your worth in a relationship, it's a sign the other person is toxic. Love bombing. In the beginning of the relationship, maybe it felt like a Disney dream, like the other person was amazing. If so, this is a huge red flag. If someone invests way too quickly, too soon, it's always a recipe for disaster. If they talk of future plans, talk of moving in together, and you guys haven't been together for a year, this isn't good. Maybe they buy you consistent extravagant gifts, shower you with admiration. If so, expect this to be the start of a narcissistic trap. It's toxic and you need out ASAP. The social media obsession. We all post the best versions of our lives on social media, right? And we use it as a pick-me-up. If the other person is heavily invested into social media, see this as a red flag. If they get into petty arguments with strangers often, make a big deal about who you follow online, and they seem a little too invested in their own personal media persona and presence and world, well, you gotta run for the hills. Poor communication. If your partner doesn't listen to you, if they talk over you, or if they are unable to communicate their feelings and then leave them bottled up and explode months later, this is not healthy. A relationship is built on communication, both verbal and non-communication, and it will always result in a toxic explosion if these vital life communication skills are missing from the relationship. The gaslighting. Are they quick to turn things around and blame you for their mistakes? If so, this is manipulation 101. Someone that is unable to empathize with you and also to admit their own wrongdoings on their actions. They will turn the tables onto you. They will lie and then believe their own lies to get out of their own sticky situation. This behavior is very toxic and majorly unhealthy, and you need to stay away. Unable to emotionally regulate. We all have off days, right? Maybe we get a bit ratty because we didn't sleep well the night before. That's excusable. But what we're talking about here is the emotional explosions. If this partner goes from 0 to 100 in a matter of seconds and then they struggle to diffuse and handle the distress, they will end up getting so emotionally tight that it ends in anger, tears, maybe they lash out and then they burn out. This here is a huge sign that this person is unable to kind of pull things back before it gets too far. They need life skills and a therapist and probably some DBT sessions. And also, you should not be dating this person. They have a substance dependency. Alcohol seems to get the okay on the dating scene at the moment. It's okay for people to have drinks and snacks and call this a date. It's not, it's a red flag. If a person needs to drink or to abuse some other substance to have a good time, this is a deal breaker. Their dependency to something external and being unable to create feel-good emotions themselves whilst they are sober, this is a huge red flag. So if you can, stay away from drink dates. Poor relationships. Now I'm talking about with friends and family. Do they have a healthy friend group or a good relationship with their family? If they do not have anyone else aside from you, this is a red flag. It means that if you guys were to date long term, they will become so dependent on you, and this is going to open up more toxic behavior down the road. But what if this person had a less than ideal upbringing? Maybe they aren't close to their family. In this case, we can excuse it, but take note, someone that has no one healthy in their life outside of a romantic relationship is a dating red flag. There you go, ladies. I hope this video has helped you to understand the red flags that you need to be looking out for and running away from if you do spot them. Let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments below, and I will see you soon. Like and subscribe.